type of company that's going to do anything that.
Morning. Damn. Yeah, the mornings have been kind of lame. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't know if it'll go pre-market, but Whoa. Speed. It was it was a it was a bounce play I was looking for. Pull it up. It's just this here. So it is going to be primed for a move, but not yet. Is this 1 minute here? The heck? Oh, it's gorgeous. I don't know. I don't know if they do. That would have been the spot. Do I eat? No, I don't eat breakfast. Ever. Besides, if unless it comes in a can. Shut up, Siru. Pro Stone morning. And Taiwan. All right. Simple Bollinger Band. I didn't know there was a difference. That's what I use. Simple. Huh. Oh, you could change it. Oh, SJ wants out? Yeah. Dump it. Cuck and go with the no go, huh? What's up with this? Financing agreement? Hmm. 75 million in cash. Float on this thing. 300 million on float. Jeez. I think everybody's bracing in the pharmaceutical world is bracing for tariffs. Literally killed the move. Well, for the past 3 weeks, I've been getting up at 7 because I'm trying to find some money somewhere. It's been a tough go. Been working out. You've been working out? Jeez. Pass on that one. There's nothing more that I want to do than to not work out as soon as I wake up. Can't do it. All right, well, I guess we can close out the HIMS prediction. That did not close green. Almost did, but then it didn't. Verb Daily Cock. Wrote 20, no volume, but I bet you that gets something going today. Hentai just means pervert? No, I did not know that. Jeez. It's crazy. Just elevator down, man. What's up, C Money? Slow morning. Just waiting. Yeah, Shopify's the only thing moving. Damn it. It's too slow. That was a nice one. Spread's just so hard, though. Thank you, Caddy. Is it good or bad? All right, let's see if we get anything at 7:30. 10 seconds. Nothing yet. Nothing. NBO is getting freaking wrecked. Weather balloon, 3 months. Get that gold badge, brother. All right. Shopify trying again. Yeah, why is AMD down? And look at their ER yet. Let's ask ChatGPT. Man, nothing. Uber all over the place on. They spent $1 billion. Jeez. Dude, what is up with this stupid GV? Russian time. 3 hours. Jeez. Oh, isn't Witkoff over there? hell, man? Can't believe this is the only thing moving. A boring morning. XELB. Why does it have 9 million shares traded? They've cleared some levels. 240. Damn. Damn. $3 pivot here. What is the chart name for the on your have on the upper right side of your screen? With the x-axis of MMID bid size on the upper right. This? Second level 2. This is level 2. Shows the bid, this shows the ask. These are the orders going through. Pre-market, for some reason, E-Trade in their infinite wisdom makes it all red. It's not all red. All right, back to Hopefully 8 o'clock gives us something. How did... Now NBO is freaking green. No. Snake bit. 5 months. Let's go, buddy. Let's freaking do it. Come on. Come on. Oh, gosh, bid. Oh, shit. What am I doing? About to go 8 o'clock news here. I can't type. All right. Freaking focus, SJ. 20 seconds. Now it juices 5 seconds later. 5 seconds later. 5 seconds! Oh, that was $1,000.
Lol 52 weeks.
$2 private placement. Fill me, you piece of shit. How did this get switched to auto? Crazy. 5 million at a purchase price of $2 per share. That should do well. No? MD news. Think. See if it gets going. Not going. Blood. Deep cheese, 52 freaking months. Let's go. Number 2. I know what we're talking about. Your statement was right on point. Can't believe there's just been nothing. BX. Can we listen to the Uber conference call?
Value for the consumer. And the only way to get there is through, super aggressive experimentation. The great news is that, those who kind of use both sides, both mobility and delivery, their retention rates are higher. They're 35% higher than single business consumers. They generate 3 times
buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Don't trip, buy the dip.
Well. And that then allows us to market more aggressively, uniquely, because the vast majority of our competition is only monoline in terms of the business that they run. So structurally, for a subset of consumers, we can just pay more than anyone else can, and that structural advantage is going to continue to get better over a period of time. Now, what we're seeing now is, a lot of people talk about AI, and some of the AI applications are just larger models that can take more, context from a consumer, history of that consumer's use, longer periods of time in terms of seasonality. And part of what we're seeing in terms of the cross-platform promotion is that we're able to pick kind of the right time to send a promotion to you. So on your way to work, maybe you pick up a Starbucks coffee with a promotion attached to it. Those kinds of magical experiences have to be hyper-personalized. And again,
this is the Uber conference call
of a bunch of optimization and model kind of tuning work. I do think that Andrew McDonald, Mac we call him,
is the 20 billion 5% juice.
Delivery kind of solves a structural problem, because to some extent, the teams who are optimizing for the mobility app, they just want to optimize for mobility and for delivery, even though they're part of one company. Now both of those organizations are under one person, which structurally allows us to be more aggressive on the platform.
That's experiences. Hey, if they're looking for some magic, I don't know what they can do.
Uber won 36 million members, and these members spent 3 times more. We have been debating as to, Eric, your question on the super app. We've been debating it internally. Now, to some extent, when you go to the Rides app, it is a super app. You'll see a delivery tab on the Rides app. We are building out an experience. If you look at our supplemental,
IPDN starting to move here.
Which actually
just put out a headline.
IPDN,
a bunch of other
shares moving here. Company announced a new CEO.
And the Rides app today drives
$2.68 on IPDN
bookings, or delivery kind of bookings on the mobility app. It's about 12% of annualized delivery gross bookings. So in some ways, we're slowly kind of moving towards a super app of sorts. But what we're trying to have is the best of both worlds.
Where's this volume coming from?
Mobility app, a highly tuned delivery app, both of which talk to each other and take targeted moments to promote each other, as opposed to kind of broad promotion that can seem like, anti-consumer to some extent. This is a long journey. I think we're in the second inning, and with our product teams and our tech teams focused on it, and Mac as the COO, I think
AZN
the journey
AstraZeneca
towards
Canada
the
said
fourth,
Health
fifth
Canada
innings is
granted
going to
notice
be
of
easier than
compliance
the
for
first 2 innings, so to
Infinzi
speak.
for MIBC. That's
Appreciate
Alpha
it. Thank
Zulu
you.
November.
You bet.
AZN.
Next question.
The next question comes from Brian Nowak with Morgan Stanley. Your line is open.
Great. Thanks for taking my questions. I have 2. The first one on the core platform. So the MAPC growth up 10 million quarter over quarter, and the Uber One member growth up 6 million quarter over quarter. Both really
White
good
House
numbers,
Economic
really good
Advisor
results.
Hassett
So
says
the question
likely
is there
to
any
see investment
changes that
commitment
sort of
from
came
Apple
through this
on
quarter
Wednesday.
that drove that
That
faster
in an
growth?
interview
And how do we
with
think
Fox
about the
Business,
durability of this faster growth
that's
going forward?
Alpha Papa
And
Lima.
then secondly,
How's the
on
waffle hanging
autonomous,
%?
Star, I think in the
Jeez.
past you talked about the
I have
number of
no idea what you're talking about.
AV
You took off
rides
2
deployed across the
months,
network.
and now you're
1.5
back,
million
and you
last quarter.
make
Any update on how
0
large
cents.
that is, the ways we
Not
can
even
think
like
about
you didn't miss a
quantifying,
step. It's
building
just,
how
hey, I'm gonna come back and just say some random words and see what that shit
Sure,
is.
absolutely. So, Brian, in terms of audience growth, which was super healthy at 15%.
There hasn't been one thing you've said today that I have understood.
Audience, but I say one of the ways that I would talk about is some of the lower cost product that we're introducing. So, for example, Moto, which are two-wheelers that are coming in a bunch of our developing markets now, it is over kind of $1.5 billion in gross bookings, growing 40%. A bunch of them
let's
on
just
the premium side as well. Our premium business is now
let's just
over
put it
$10
all
billion,
into
growing 35%,
perspective.
and our reserve business continues to grow
Careful,
50%.
just as many
So the strategy
DG2.
that you're seeing from us, which is
We need color on the
target
China license.
consumers, different demographics.
You're officially number
whether
2.
demographics in terms of income,
Your answer was exactly on point. BX. Uber is the 20 billion 5% juice. 20
These are new consumers that are coming
B
onto our platform.
5% juice.
And then when
Buyback,
buyback
Putzer, IPDN, new CEO. How's the waffle hanging? Syrup or sand?
But if it's
SGBX 35 cents now continue to spike here on heavy volume.
into the platform as well.
SGBX.
So we are very, very pleased in terms of audience. And I would tell you that while a lot of people think, hey, everyone that I know uses Uber, et cetera, in our top 10 markets for consumers who are 18 years and older, only about 20% of them come to us on a monthly basis. So there's a ton of audience
Where's the
that we continue
confusion?
expanding into. And at this point, we're not seeing any signal whatsoever that audience growth is slowing down. Uber One, we've been very, very happy about growing 60%, 36 million members. I think one of the differences that you're going to see in Uber One is Uber One has always been a huge hit as it relates to delivery. It has been a bit more difficult in terms of introducing it to the mobility audience. The incremental use, on delivery showed up on day one. But on mobility, the incrementality as a result of Uber One has been something that we've had to work on. One of the newer products that we're very excited about is actually surge savings. This is the number one product that our mobility consumers have asked for. Surge is necessary for us to improve reliability across the network, but a lot of our users don't like it, to be frank. So surge savings is an opportunity for members to save during those surges. And kind of pay prices closer to what they're used to, and we think that can drive membership as well. So one of the reasons why you're seeing membership grow as fast as it grows is, while it's highly optimized for delivery, call it 80% of where we're going to get to, in mobility it's like not nearly as optimized, and we're much earlier kind of in the path in terms of introducing membership to our mobility users and coming out with kind of spectacular products like the surge savings that we talked about. So both early, the teams are doing well, and we expect that execution to continue. In terms of AV, it is very, very early in terms of the development of AV. I think the commercialization is going to take time, but we're going to be in the lead in terms of commercialization. Austin launch continues to go really well in terms of utilization. Atlanta launch it's early, but the Atlanta launch has been great. And in both cases, the average Waymo is busier than 99% of our drivers in terms of completed trips per day. And then what we're also seeing is that having Waymos as part of our product it looks like it has kind of a positive halo effect on the overall system in terms of people being excited to use an AV. It's certainly showing up in Austin. Too early to show up in Atlanta, but it's something that we're looking at closely. And then obviously beyond Waymo, there's a big ecosystem out there: May Mobility, AvRide, Volkswagen, Neurolucid, and then a lot of players in the rest of the world: WeRide, Pony, Baidu, Wave, and Momenta. So lots of partnerships here, and really the focus now is how do we bring this product to market as quickly as possible, because it looks like from a consumer standpoint and from a safety standpoint, it's a real hit. All right, next question. You're welcome.
Thank you. Next question is from Michael Morton with MoffettNathanson. Your line is open.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for the question. Dara, maybe a great time to follow up on those AV comments you just made. And I wanted to dig in a little bit on the Lucid and Nuro partnership that was announced. There were some investor concerns that this partnership in particular, with the capital around it, was a negative read-through for the relationship with Waymo.
Apple
and then
shares
also just
popping
capital
here.
intensity a
Following
little
comments
surprising for
from
marketplaces. Could you maybe speak to why this might not be the best framework for thinking
House
about that
Advisor
partnership? And then some high-level thoughts
about
on
Apple
how
investment.
you're envisioning owning some of the AV assets versus divesting them to fleet operators, and how investors
level
should
here.
expect to see this play out over the next several years.
And Rex.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Michael, listen, we're very
As it said, the
excited
president
about
has
the partnership with
engaged
Neuro
Treasury Secretary
and Lucid.
Bessent to lead
Neuro
search
is
process for next
leading
Fed chair.
software player, obviously, excellent management,
And
Lucid as well, one of the leading EV manufacturers out there with great tech. So we think it's terrific. Listen, I've said it before, we are a supply-led company. The more drivers there are in the ecosystem,
I thought he said
that
Shares
we
of
can
McDonald's
does not
with our
have an
platform,
investment.
the better our
Up
service
about 11%.
becomes. And that
about
applies
thought it was a no on
autonomous
it.
and autonomous drivers as well.
$11 on
So we are
McDonald's,
investing,
MCD.
absolutely investing in the software players and the hardware players to bring that to fore. And the fact that we are able to work with Neuro and Lucid speaks very well to AV supply going forward. The more supply there is, both humans and AVs, again, the better our platform is.
Oh,
And
likely to see. I thought he said not likely.
That, as you've seen with our cash flow and our capital allocation, we can
Very interesting.
aggressively in the autonomous
All
space,
will
and at
eventually
the same
kiss the
time
ring.
to return plenty of capital to our shareholders. So it's not an either or. I do think that you will see us do more deals like Neuro Lucid in the early days of autonomous as we're proving out the economics of the marketplace. How much can one of these cars make? Now, the signal that we see with Waymo is based on the trips per day being at a 99th percentile in terms of utilization. That news is great. So once we prove out the revenue model, how much these cars can generate on a per-day basis,
yes, he did skip Saudi.
Plenty of financing to go around, third-party financing. We've talked to private equity players, we've talked to banks, etc. And while it will take some time, we're very confident that these assets are going to be financeable. And for us, we believe it's a competitive advantage for us to be able to use a relatively modest part of our cash flow to fund kind of the catalyst, get things started here. So we think it's great news. We've got obviously something to prove to shareholders. We always do. But I think it reflects kind of the catalytic potential that we can bring to the market. Anything you want to talk to, Prashant?
Maybe just to remind folks, as we've said in the past, that as we think about our investments in AV, we want to think about them in terms of where will we use capital to take equity positions in some of the software players or ecosystem players to help them kickstart their development, and where does Uber being part of their cap table sort of add to their credibility. We're going to continue to recycle some of the proceeds from the minority stakes that we have to fund some of those investments. You've seen us do that already, and expect us to continue to do more of that over the coming quarters. Second, expect us to use some of our cash flow in a more capital structure as we may need to invest either in real estate, in facilities, or as we announced with Lucid, actually in vehicles. Exactly as Dara said, this is really to help us build our learning base and to build enough information for us to be able to engage more credibly with financing partners, having run these at scale ourselves, and then be able to bring them into the fold with real data on how they can earn a return in this space. And then lastly is obviously AVs today are not profitable. That has been a pretty consistent investment approach for Uber. As we go into markets and go into products, starting at a loss,
the AVs are not profitable.
And then over time, we know exactly the levers that are necessary to turn to get that profitability. You've seen us do that in multiple growth bets, as well as in the delivery business when we started, and expect that to be the same for AV. I'll just call back to, we announced a $20 billion authorization today, in part to make it clear that returning the cash generated from this enterprise to shareholders remains our number one concern. And so the investments that we're going to be making in this area are going to pale sort of in comparison to that.
All right. Thanks for the question. And can we get the next question?
Next question comes from Justin Post with Bank of America. Your line is open.
Great. Thanks. A couple more questions on AVs. In the letter, you talked about we are increasingly focused on broadening OEM partnerships. So really, maybe talk about that and your partnership pipeline here for the next 6 months or so. And then second, with a lot of news about Tesla expanding, how do you think about that? And maybe just give us an update on your share and growth in the San Francisco and LA markets. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Justin, in terms of OEMs, what we're seeing is that the development of software, actually AV software, has really been accelerated based on these larger AI models. There are some approaches that are kind of perception models, interpreting the world, and then prediction models that decide what to do. Some players like Tesla and Wave, for example, are going with single models. But whatever the approach is, it is really accelerating in terms of time to market. And we actually think the harder part of commercialization is going to be hardware, bringing on hardware platforms and hardware partners that can build these platforms at scale affordably, because today, at least, AV vehicles that are able to be deployed at scale are pretty expensive. We've obviously made the Lucid announcement. We are talking to all of the major OEMs in the space, and we're confident that over the next couple of years, we will have OEM partners. And again, because we bring a ton of demand, we've got a great balance sheet.
Still juicing, huh?
In order to prove out the financing of these models, we think we're in a great position to do so. So stay tuned. You'll see more announcements with OEMs. And then there are certain players like Baidu who also have established not just software platforms, but also hardware platforms that look to be effective at scale and quite affordably, which is terrific. The Apollo Go is one example of that. And then in terms of Tesla, listen, we see them on the streets right now. The deployments that we're observing is very, very small. So we haven't measured any change in terms of trends, both in Austin and or San Francisco. It's something that we'll watch. And again, we've said it before, this is a very, very big market. There will be no winner take all. And I think you're going to see a lot of experimentation early on with lots of different models. Waymo's working with us. Waymo is going through
very tight 5 minute on Uber.
Working with a number of other players. You'll see a panoply of models. But we are confident that based on our platform, based on our ability to balance kind of supply and demand, peaks and valleys, we think we'll be the leading third-party platform out there. And with a market that is going to grow and expand the way AV promises to, I think we'll be a winner, but we won't be the only winner. Can we get the next question, please? Thank you.
Next question comes from Doug Anmuth with JP Morgan. Your line is open.
Thanks for taking the questions. I have two, one for Dara, one for Prashant. Dara, just in terms of mobility, how are consumers responding to the pricing growth deceleration just tied to the moderating insurance pressures? And I guess what gives you confidence?
IPDN back to the highs.
McDonald's 312 now at the high. Michael Charlie Delta.
And then Prashant, is there any more color that you can add around the buyback and just kind of loosely how you think about overall time frame, just given that the $7 billion from a couple of years ago kind of started somewhat slowly. It's ramped more now, but any more color there would be helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, Doug, in terms of, I'll answer the first one. In terms of the response of pricing, it's been really positive. So there is a sensitivity to pricing on kind of a session level, right? If someone sees a ride for $20 and then sees a ride for $17, the conversion on those two sessions are going to be different. But there's also the person who saw the $17 ride has a greater proclivity of coming back to us 2 days later, 3 weeks later, et cetera. So there's kind of a delayed reaction to pricing, which we're now able to, with some of the data scientists out there who are really terrific, we're able to measure. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the U.S., which is if you measure kind of bringing prices down, and I think the good news here, to be clear, is we're just passing on these insurance savings. So our profit per ride in the U.S. is up on a year-on-year basis. This is, it's insurance money passed right to consumers. What we're seeing in the U.S. is that there's some session benefits or in-session benefit, but there's a delayed benefit to consumers then coming back to the app more. And that's absolutely showing up in July, where transaction growth accelerated nicely versus Q2. And our expectation based on our being able to continue to pass on insurance savings for the balance of the quarter is that the same trends are going to show up in the balance of the quarter. The trends generally are getting better as the quarter progresses, which gives us confidence in Q2, and hopefully that'll continue into Q4. Q3, and then
8:30 news coming up.
Prashant,
Yeah, Lucid Motors is what they're talking about.
So, Doug, make a couple points on the buyback to help folks understand how we think about it. As this business has inflected and we have started to generate meaningful cash flow, returning that cash to our shareholders is a key priority for us. We've already executed over 60% of our authorization from last spring when it was originally authorized. So today's $20 billion is in addition to the roughly $3 billion that is yet to be executed. So I know that sometimes folks get confused on that. So think of it as $23 billion to execute over the next couple of periods here. That represents about 12% of our market cap, and really is a reflection of how great we feel about the cash flow generation that's in front of us. So if you look at our history now, we've been allocating around 50% of our free cash flow to buybacks. I think that's a fair sort of way for you to think about how we will execute the capital return over the coming years. That gives us also a good sort of way to benchmark
IPDN going for that high day.
Our programs every quarter. So you should expect this to be sort of a multi-year plan. We will be active every quarter, but of course we always reserve the opportunity that if there is a meaningful dislocation, we're going to get very opportunistic in the market. And just a reminder that we made a commitment last year in our investor day that we were going to turn the curve and start reducing our share count. And now in the second quarter, we've actually taken share count down 1%, and you'll see that trend continue for the next couple of years. Next question, please.
Great. Thank you both.
All right, mute this for a second.
Question comes from Ross Sandler with Barclays. Your line is open.
Great. This is probably for
So we're getting 8:30 news here. What's up with DJT?
DJT shares getting a pop here. Delta Juliet
Oh,
Tango.
AI search engine.
LTRN Lantern subsidiary Starlight Therapeutics announcing FDA clearance of IND for phase 1B 2A glioblastoma multiform trial. That's Lima Tango Romeo November.
Cryptocurrency
LTRN.
treasury strategy, diversified balance sheet, long term.
INBS Intelligent Biosolutions strengthens FDA 510K package with new cybersecurity and performance data ahead of planned U.S. market launch. That's Indy November Bravo Sandy. INBS, DJT, Trump media begins public.
Is there news here? Switch. on MSTR. It's just a pure Bitcoin play. That's all I think about it. Google Cloud. So basically, they're using Google Cloud. Can't believe there's nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's clear that he's just straight turning the whole company into a Bitcoin play. So, I mean, there's nothing more to it. It goes up when Bitcoin goes up, it goes down, or basically when Bitcoin goes sideways or down. What I'm shocked about is you've never really seen a short squeeze out of this thing. I mean, maybe here, but for a long time it's had high short interest, but never got that like insane move. Now to the end of the year, I can tell you what I see now. And golly, crystal ball ain't that clear. From a weekly perspective, all we're doing right now is testing the 9 EMA super strong. If we hold this, call it 112, 500. If you hold that, you're just allowing everything to reset. Get another curl going. Bada bing, bada boom. So we'll see. What's the headline here? No. Well, this is just decided to juice, didn't it? Go figure, man. Well, yeah, you're waiting for longer for a setup. Bishop. I mean, you get 4 15-minute candles an hour. Minute chart, you get 60. I mean, the setups are just different. I don't think you have to go to a 15-minute, though. You can probably find great success with a 5. This verb is interesting. Over 20. $21. Okay. What are you doing, Meister? I got shop calls yesterday, 5 minutes before close. Your next week, 155 calls. You think shop can squeeze similar to how Carvana did after? Let me look at shop. You got 155s. I mean, it's already up 14%. You get that psychological 150. I would imagine that you crack 150. I don't know. I haven't looked at the ER, but that's a pretty strong move. I mean, if you're green on them, you might get it out of the open, that move to 150, like, PLTR juiced a couple times yesterday before kind of petering off. The morning was very volatile. This. Chuck Jones, shut up. Yeah, Nick, going back to what Nick was saying, Nick uses that 515 a lot. He posts if you're not in Discord, you should be, because Nick posts a lot of his 515 plays, and you can take a look at it and see if that's a trading strength that works for you. Bishop. Don't listen to Hairboy. I literally said take profit, which is exactly what you said. Jeez. This guy. There, we're doing a reverse split. Seabus, are you trying to interpret deep cheese? You know that's impossible. Shut up. Shut up, Waffle. How do you predict the value of the 155 next week if you're to sell them on 50? There's option calculators you can use to put that stuff in. The formula, I mean, you're not going to be able to. Here, there's a website that I use quite often if I ever care to look that kind of stuff up. It's just a ballpark. Good ballpark, but it's a ballpark. I mean, we have not had a single runner this morning. We haven't even had like pop and then 100% retracement. I mean, normally we're getting like a $2 pop stock and then it retraces $2 in 2 minutes. I haven't even gotten that. WLDS, interesting. If it wants to get volume today, just put out a headline, kind of a bullshit headline, but quite the diagonal here on the daily. Apple back to the high. Apple juice there. Apple 100 billion where? White House saying Apple to boost U.S. investment commitment by 100 billion. Where's Apple saying all this? Is this the cart before the horse that the White House a lot of times does? And then the person that's supposed to be doing the investment's like, what? Shut up, Cosmo. NVO back to the lows. In a response. Should be interesting. Can't believe this piece of shit is going on a partnership. I already muted Chuck Jones. Has SJ ever given any viewer awards? Yes. Oh, I've given plenty of awards. There you go, one positive. Yeah, see, one positive dude got a badge, but that he never uses. Substream Hub. Oh, there it is. Look at that beautiful artist badge. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What a slow freaking morning. 9 o'clock, please give us something. Uber coming right back up. 50 cents. What is this? Jeez. I muted Chuck Jones. When he's on, I mute him. Betas, whatever at that. Normal Chuck, he's the bomb diggity as well, but Chuck Jones, I just can't take it. I can't take it. Leading up to 98 News, we've got Apple with their $100 billion investment coming from the White House. That is a 100 with a B billion-dollar investment from Apple, people, lives. That's Apple. From Apple PE. Please give us something. Yeah, he said on a rocket ship yesterday. Yeah, like 4,000 shares traded. Apple really tight here. On your comments. Do they have a CC going on right now? Where is he talking? Oh. Put it on after 9:30 or 9 o'clock news. HDD about to go in your dream machine. How big? All right, here we go. Femi. My goodness. What is up with Unity now? Sells off hard. Now it's going to rip. This daily chart's juiced if it wants it. We'll have to watch that one today. Holds over 4,000 Bitcoin. And it's only a $5 million stock? That makes no sense. I don't know why Unity's going today, but we're here for it. Straight up. Fig getting freaking wrecked. I mean, is this going to 70? Potty break. Shut up, Given. What is this move on Unity? ALAB? I think Unity is going to be my main watch out of the gates. That and Verb, if Verb wakes back at, well, gets over 20. I like Verb a lot. Four a.m. What time zone are you in, Winston? Cores, they're a no touch for me until we understand, unless it's a U.S. manufacturer. It's pretty clear that they're going to get tariff next, and we don't know what that looks like. I think they're already kind of getting run down because of the implement, the writing on the wall. So we'll see. I'd imagine the administration understands that they have to thread that needle pretty close. You start raising healthcare prices on the U.S. taxpayer. That's one area that is very touchy. So it'd be interesting to see what they have in mind and what time frame they give it. Like, how do you freaking move that kind of manufacturing? I don't know. Critical burr. There you go. I think Trump's going to talk about Gaza. That's my guess. Is his announcement today supposed to be at 4:30? My guess is something to do with Gaza. AEO jeans. If he did, I'm going to mortgage the house and buy AEO. Dude, we had not had one news play this morning. That is disappointing. It's 2.5 hours of sleep I missed out on. And you just put out a headline. Check general. Oh my gosh. Burning, ban yourself. Son of a bitch. That's Kramer. I don't know why it's cutting off the bottom side, but COSM, big daily, 300 million fantasy launch, Ethereum Treasury. These treasury plays have not done well recently. There you go. All the way back down. People aren't playing them anymore. Thank you, stock. Still haven't seen the India headline. Cosmo red now. GBX into the gap. No news. Up 130%. I've got Jones muted. Nice work, Bishop. India, Russia to deepen cooperation in aluminum fertilizers. India says, you, USA. Barb. It's just kind of spattering here and there. For me, the level's like 17, like 20, 17 or 1970 to 20. You break that. Russia plans to increase Western oil exports to nearly 2 million barrels per day in August after drone strikes on refineries. All right, 5-minute break. Be back for the open. All right. Apple with the juice. AIMD juicing. Can these... There's verb. True false halt. Okay! OpenAI is being used across the federal government. Go wrong. Apple cuck and go here. Just had a kid. SJ, so been busy, but last time I looked, you were at 300K. Did you straw or had a little rough? It's been, last 2 weeks were rough. Hopefully we're going to turn that around though. I basically lost around 40K in the last 2 weeks. Half of July I wiped. First half of July was awesome. Second half of July was bad. Here's to August. So yeah, I was up like 70K in July and I ended up 35K in July because of the last 2 weeks. Something like that. Plus or minus. What is verb showing as resumption quote? $23. Oh gosh. Shut up, Waffle. Freaking ban yourself. IPDN. It's going to be a 10-minute halt on this verb. Yeah. There's your level there. All right, I got to focus on this verb here. When's the resumption? 39.21. 9:39:21. You said no pre-market news. Apple spell it. I'm talking about the shitters. All right. All right. Talk about the shitters. Two minutes here on this. Burp. Come on. Let me take a look at some stuff here. Verb big level at 2236, which we might be gapping up over. Somebody light the candle. It smells under SJ's desk. I don't have fire down here. Otherwise, I would turn it on. It's my candle of hope, dude. Burkett. Let me take a hit. I'm ready. Now I'm ready. 1 minute. Man, I got such a shitty fill too. But we're happy. We're happy right now. We're going to be making money. Right? Don't jinx it. Please show 23 still. Oh, gosh, yes. 2290. That needs to go back up. We need to pump those numbers. All right, let's see. What is that shit? What is that shit? That's disappointing AF. It resumed at 2230. With like a $2 spread. I made $400 on that. $500. It's disgusting. Fig price compression. Wow, that's a disappointment. Oh my gosh, you piece of shit! You're not gonna break 80. Oh, you did break 80. Hey, how about that? How about them apples? So has room up to 84 now. Well, little stop at 81.30, but then after that, there's a pretty big window up to 84. How about them apple? What's Tesla doing? Unity back down. I mean, goodness gracious, this stock. AIMD trying to curl. Does have a level at 395. Be a 5-minute as well. MACD could switch. And as we see with these high volume low floaters, sometimes these levels break and don't do anything. XLP. Mezzy with the 100 Basie. How you doing, Mezzy Moo? Oh, you know how to make a girl blush. Fig up to the 8150. Let's go. Doing good, Mezzy. Doing good. Glad to thank you for stopping in. Thank you, Menzie. Some private lessons. If you were to trade the U.S. stock market, then what time is it in Aussie land right now? That'd be a rough go, huh? It's probably what, like midnight? I don't even know. Thursday morning? Jeez. LGO or 10:15 could get going. Oh shit. The halting? Fig 1 minute. Oh no, that's a 30-second chart. Need to switch that chart up. There we go. Why is chatting SBET? Has it been back? Oh yeah. SBET is definitely my world. Yesterday's move almost got it going. But it's like the Ethereum play. So when Ethereum rips, they're the one. That's what they have a lot of their supposed money in. Ethereum. AIMD pressing. I'm a huge fan of the chart or the stock, but it is compressing. Shopify 155. Congratulations to whoever you were with the 155 calls. Damn. So you got that 150 break that we were talking about. Bunny, that was you? Yeah, that was you. Good job, Bunny. Oh my gosh, Mezzy. Fig pushing past it now. Fig, watch that 84 now. AIMD trying. Little scalp. Tumley on ETH. Is he? Fig right up to that 84. It's the level. 84.10. No pullback, straight to it. Apple consolidating, trying to do another move. I'm just using the open or the low of that daily candle as a level. AIMD, second go maybe. APL. Trying at 29, 27. See, this is what happens when I freaking. Are you kidding me? Go, you bastard. Top tick the damn candle. You can't make this up. Stop it. It's going to cuck before it goes, isn't it? It broke high today, didn't go. Whatever. AIMD second attempt. Fig. Still playing around with this level. RMSG. Nice, $3. Oh, Fig blew through it here, boys. LHAI, first daily cock. Spreads suck, but it's there. AIMD is going to go. Oh, too slow. India tariffs. Get wrecked. Additional 25% tariffs on goods from India. You get a piece of that banger there? Jeez. Good call out. Good call out. See what happens when you're not freaking making no sense. Damn, 40-cent spread here. Oh, don't do that. Oh. Of course. Of course. Man, Reddit's a beast. Damn, that thing's working. Fig trying again. How'd I get filled at 81? Joel. All right. Now it goes. Now it freaking goes. Shh, not a positive, dude. BTAI out of nowhere. What is that? Jeez. Apple. It's actually got a squeeze building out. At yesterday's close. LHAI 1 minute would be 6:30. It's RG whatever. Starting to take off. Reposts on Instagram. This is getting up there. 340 is the level. Paul Salt, you son of a bitch. Gotta stand up for this, boys. Can't do it without doing China. Well, China's making deals, though. They're trying, well, they're seemingly making deals. So I think as long as you're trying, you don't get pounded. What are we seeing? Flat resumption? Of course it's flat. Of course it's flat. Why would it gap up? I've been dicked now twice on a halt today. Why not make it twice? First time, bullshit. Second time, bullshit. Apple going, yeah. LHAI. See what this 1 minute does. Nada.
Lizard, lizard, lizard.
Just get me out. Fig. Nasty rejection candle there. That holds. Fig. Market's juicing. Duberk here with lizards. No idea what that means. CLC daily. Damn, that's just kind of getting there, isn't it? All right, 0840. 10:08:40 on the resumption. One minute. Last halt was a flat pop, drop, sideways, up. So I expect similar out of this. If it breaks 350 and just doesn't do anything, like just a 2-cent break, then a dip and rip could happen. $30 seconds. It's resuming 6 cents lower. Gap down. Shocker. I know. 5 seconds. It's all over the place. Just trying to get out. I don't trust it. Small win. You can play the candle going through here at 257 if you want. That would have been the play. LHAI. Still at this 5-minute. Fig. Man, the market's juicing. Jeez. Horse shit fails, man. That one dicked me big time. Glad to get out for $20. Fig looking a little toppy. 5-minute pullback. Incoming. Look at that. Yesterday's close, retest, held, moon. XYZ. Hyped moving. NVO. Got some levels. Yep, Apple moving up out of that squeeze. XLP. What do you not like about the XLP? Entity breaking out. OKLO could go here. 84.58. Sure why it's not going. Okay. Unity back to the lows. Make it make sense. What on earth was this stock? Fig. 5-minute cock. Missed it. I got filled at 86. There was a freaking 30-cent spread, and I get filled at 86. Horseshit, Phil. So 86 holds. PLTR, it's, yeah, pretty insane. Welfare, let's go 36 months, my man. 3 years. It's dedication. It's commitment. And obviously, his looks could kill right now. Congratulations. For those that don't know, it's kind of a secret, trade secret. The longer you sub to the channel, you have a almost guaranteed fact, unscientifically proven chance that you will become better looking. So there's that. And you're a dad? Nice. See? Paid off. Keep it up. Trump always chicken out. Keep it up. You're not sub though. That doesn't count. That's just you pushing the tape measure into your pelvic more. It's not real growth. We checked on the moon chart. No, we haven't done that. Boop! Measured from the tape. And you're something on. No, it's just technical. It's just technical on Tesla. We'll go over that real quick. People have been talking about it. So we've been watching Tesla. If you look at the 30-minute chart on it, you can kind of see a little bit of a compression here. Boom, 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 boom. Today we're breaking out of that. Actually, it was really nice. Would have paid attention to it. Maybe carry it all the way back to here. That's actually pretty real nice. The weekly, though, is what we've been really watching. Which you're still in this range. When you break out of this one, then it's going to be real fun. So daily wise, we're making lower lows still and lower highs. So it's still in a downtrend. We're not breaking out of this yet. But as I posted before on Sunday night, you had these oversold on the Stokes. Last time here we were oversold, led to a nice bounce. Here on first week of July, oversold, led to a bounce. Here we were oversold, led to a bounce. So that's playing out. Now, where do we go from here? I have no idea, but that played out pretty nicely. Where am I at today? 118. Is there no stocky today? No, so our numbers are bumped a bit. A problem variety. Stocky resting. Oh, spicy. Okay, hello. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Not much I'm loving. Circle has this 155 level. Spreads are tough on it. PLTR over yesterday's high. Currently going to Mexico. And the butt? No. What are you talking about? Whoa. Look at this. So are we rejecting the 9 EMA here? That's the question. Fig. Back up. What's Carney in the butt? What are you talking about? The butt of this headline. Oh my gosh. I can't show this on stream, but this is Carney down here. Let's just say if I keep scrolling down, you'll see that he is wearing something pink down there that starts with the letter T and ends with the letter Hong. Thong. Show it. Oh gosh, you gotta freaking love these headlines. My favorite of all time. I gotta find it here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's such an old one. No, I can't find it. She's the bump. I can't find her. Oh, well. Should you invest Pokemon? There's an obvious answer to that. Yes. Actually, I'm not big into Pokemon. I never were. Fig looking like retest of this area here. Apple coming back up. PLTR doesn't care. And bot went hiding. That's not what I'm thinking. What I missed? Oh, deep cheese. It's taken out of context. It's clearly taken out of context.
You really gotta arch that. You arch it. Get it in there, you know what I mean? It's the only way.
Clearly taking it out of Fig VWAP. Gonna bounce. Yep. All right, I got a call here, folks. I got family in town this week, so days are going to be short. Need to get one of them crazy around and follow a bunch of sims. Yeah, I know, right? Hamburg? Freaking A. So $1,700 today, $1,800, whatever. Apple juicing again. I don't know. This market, it's probably going to be all headlines for a little bit. 3 green days straight. Yeah. It's good. We need to keep that up. Hey, Cheese, you see this jawline here? Huh? You see this jawline? I've been keto ever since I fasted. Oh, you weren't here. Fasted 2 weeks ago, and I've been keto ever since. See the jaw? See the definition? Huh? See it, Cheese? Huh? My scar. Oh, this? No. Lures you in, doesn't it? Can't take your eyes off it. You become fixated even. We'll be back out tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. probably, unfortunately. But family's in town, so I got to take advantage of the time frame that everybody else is sleeping. Peace out, everybody.